Please sign in. The sign in is over here. Please grab something to eat. The eating. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, so we are here. Thank you guys for coming to the District 4 community meeting. Raise your hand if this is your first meeting with me. Oh, we got some newbies. I need 3 people up here right now. Going once. Going twice. Is your first time at the meeting? New people who've never been to my meeting. Come on, going one. Oh, we have 2. We have 4. Come on, come on. Young man right here. Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. Y'all clap for them. 5, okay. Do we have one more mic? Can we get one more mic? Do we have any more mics? Oh, right here, okay. So, for those who are come to my meetings, do not shout out the answers, okay? This is like a trivia. If you get it wrong, you gotta go take a seat. You good with that? Yes? Okay, first give them the mic. Miss Tiffany, you guys introduce yourself and where your kids go to school. Just go down the line, or where you go to school. It's at the bottom. You have to do something to, right here, yeah.
Hello?
Yep, okay.
Hi, my name is Jade McMillan, and I am attendant of Westlake High School.
Okay, yay, clap.
Good afternoon, my name is Cordelia Appleby, and I'm a resident of Montclair Estates.
Okay, nice, welcome.
I'm Ms. Jo Allen, and I'm representing Renaissance Elementary School, the Mighty Royal.
Yay. Y'all can clap harder than that.
I'm Heather Brown. I am a Sandtown parent.
Okay, clap, come on. Okay, clap.
Good afternoon, everyone. How y'all doing? My name is DeMarcus Hill. I'm a South Fulton County resident, and I'm the parent of 2 students, one at Stonewall Teller Elementary and one at Sandtown.
Okay, clap. Okay, so the first question, everybody gets a try before we say what it actually is. And if you get it wrong, it's okay, because even when you fail, you're learning, right? And it's not really failure, but we get things wrong. All right, I'm gonna start with this. I want you to estimate how much is the budget for Fulton County schools. You got 5 seconds. You can't give them any answers? Go ahead.
$1.2 billion.
1.2. Mr. DeReef. Mr. DeReef, wave your hand. This is our Chief Financial Officer. She said our operating budget is 1 point what?
2 billion.
1.2 billion. Just raise your hand, yes or no. Go like this. No. Okay, clap for. Next. Go ahead, yeah, right here. Liberty Point parent. Marvin, is she low or high? Low. Okay.
$3.5 billion.
Marvin, yes or no? Say that, what is it? It's too high? All right, so go to the side. Give it somebody else who has an answer. 2.8 billion. Marvin? High? Okay.
1.9 billion.
Marvin, what do you say? Too high? Okay, come on over here, Marvin. Come on, you the money man. Come on. Young lady. Y'all want to help her? Oh, we have one more. We have the young man down here. Go ahead.
1.5 billion?
Marvin, 1.5 billion? Too high? Okay. We have one right here. 1.4 billion? Too Too high. Oh, I was right. Okay. Yay, yay, yes. Okay. So our operating budget is $1.4 billion. Now I want you guys to keep in mind that. What funds your school system? Taxpayers. What else? The government, federal government, a little bit, about 12%. So what else did you say? On the mic. The state of Georgia. Okay, so we know we're funded locally by property taxes. We know we're funded by the state of Georgia, and we know we get federal funds. Right now, in 2025, how much does it cost for us to run payroll for employees and to keep all of our buildings open? Raise your hand if you're an employee. You get paid through Fulton County. Fulton County misses payment 1 month. How much is it overall for us to pay our employees? What is it? Say that again. You give him the mic. He's right on the money. Is that right, Mr. DeReef? $100 million for us to run payroll, for us to keep our buildings open. And usually it was $90 million, but we're talking inflation, we have went up. So it's $100 million for us to run payroll. Last question, this should be a fun question. We had 3 teams go to the final championship game in basketball. Name all 3. Who can name all 3? Nobody? Okay. Basketball. Wrong. What is it? Creekside what? Okay, Creekside Girls. Is that right? Okay, who else? Y'all giving them the answer.
Tri-City.
Tri-Cities what?
Boys.
Okay, Tri-Cities Boys, is that right? Okay, and then give me one more. Girls or boys?
Girls.
Okay, Langston Girls. Thank you guys. Y'all clap for them. We usually start my meetings with a little bit of trivia. We're going to start with, where is our interim principal here at Westlake High School? Mr. Menace, come up and welcome everybody. And if I can get my middle school principals up. Welcome us to your building.
Welcome to Westlake. I would like to thank everyone for coming out. I would like to thank Ms. Warren for all the wonderful things that she does. And just want to say thank you to my colleagues, my fabulous staff, and everything. Thank you to Mr. Maxwell for giving me the opportunity to at least be in this interim position. So with that being said, I'm just going to pass the mic and let everybody else say a little something. But thank you guys for being here.
All right, so thank you, Mr. Menace. Thank you for Westlake staff. They got here early, had us set up, all the good things. How we usually start our community meetings is that Mr. Maxwell and Dr. Stamper, can you guys stand for a second? Also, Ms. Huff and Dr. Gaskins, can y'all stand for a second? If you are, come right over here so we can all see you. These are chiefs. If you have an issue, you came here for an issue tonight, you have a burning issue that you need to get taken care of right now, you guys raise your hands, and these are gonna be your people to help you, okay? So they're gonna go back to where they're at, but if you have any issues, they're gonna help. So I wanted to start this part of the community meeting off with a small panel, 15 minutes. And one of the issues that we see coming into middle school, raise your hand if you have an elementary age student. Okay, it's a couple of people. And so what we want to talk about very briefly is kind of this transition from elementary to middle school. So we have 3 of our middle school principals up here. Can you guys introduce yourselves? Starting with Mr. Billups because he has the mic. And then we are going to have some questions for them.
Hello, my name is Lamar Billups. I'm the proud principal of Bear Creek Middle School. Over here.
Here you go.
Good evening. I am Leah McDaniel, principal of Camp Creek Middle School, home of the Warriors.
Good evening. I'm Miranda Freeman, the proud principal of Sandtown Middle School, the home of the Jaguars.
So the first question, I had a couple of parents inbox me. is they want to know what is the biggest transition. Let me read it. Hello, Ms. Warren. My child is slated to start middle school next year, and I am nervous about the social interactions they will have. Can you please ask the principals what is the number one thing that you see sixth graders make a mistake in, and what can parents do to support them?
You want to take that? So I would say peer relationships are something that's huge in middle school. And what I would like for our parents to do is help our middle schoolers choose their friends wisely. Because when they don't, they get into all kinds of trouble in all kinds of situations. Middle school is a very social time for our middle school students. They want to be involved in everything. They want to be where everybody is. But helping them navigate through those social situations is key for parents. And I think you need to be aware of them. Check their cell phones often. They don't have privacy if they still live in your house, is what I believe. My son knows that. But make sure that you are aware of what friend groups they are in, the group chats that they're in, their social media accounts, because all that plays a part when it comes into the building.
I would agree. Technology, monitoring social media, and equipping them with the emotional intelligence and peer conflict resolution. They don't necessarily know how to use their words and express their feelings because they're moving from being in an elementary school where they've known these individuals their entire life since pre-K, some of them, and now they are in a school with 2 or 3 other elementary schools. And so they're expanding their friend group. And sometimes that gets, a little uncomfortable because she was my friend yesterday and now she sat beside somebody else and now they're in the office crying. So being able to manage those things in a healthy way rather than it playing out in chat rooms and on group chats, FaceTime, social media is significant. If parents will parent that so that we can be about the business of school, that would be amazing.
Yes, and I echo my counterparts, social media and the group chats. So if you guys could just partner with us, make sure that you're monitoring them, be a village. So actually know who your scholars are calling friends, call their parents, have open lines of communications with them, because one thing is I know what we instill at home, right? And when you send them out into the school, we don't know what values, what morals they're being taught at their household. So communicate with other parents, find out who their friends are, who they're calling friends, call the teachers, they'll tell you she's always with this one or that one, and those are the besties, all right? And then have a conversation with their parents so that you can see that that's someone that you want your child.
I would also say it also never say my child would never, because they're at an age where they're expanding all things. So maybe at one point they would not do that, but yes, they probably did and will again. We all did. There's a stage that they go through. So listen, understand, set boundaries, but as much as you advocate for your child, also know that they're not going to be perfect. We don't expect them to be perfect. However, being a partner with the school rather than an adversary goes a long way.
All right, second question is about the cell phone. Parent A says that her child has begged for a phone and they have plans at 5th grade graduation to get their child a new iPhone. What are your thoughts on middle schoolers having it? She does say that she will have controls on it, but she's been hearing horror stories of airdropping and group chats with 150 kids in them, and she wants to know, is this a smart move?
Cell phones are the worst for middle school. This is where they create opportunities for bullying to start, harassment to start. And if you're not monitoring that as a parent, your child can get into some serious trouble. If we can keep cell phones out of middle school as much as possible, that would be great. They use them inappropriately sometimes to take pictures of kids in inappropriate situations. It's just not a good idea for them to have phones in middle school. Some of them are mature enough to use them appropriately, but not enough that we would want them in the school all the time. It just creates more problems than not.
We have one of our principals who just joined us. Dr. Williams, you want to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ava Williams, proud principal of Renaissance Middle School. We are home of the Wildcats. Our motto is to operate in excellence, and we model and we teach our students to follow our values of being respectful, being responsible, and being ready.
Clap, I'm sorry.
Cell phones are just not the greatest idea for middle schoolers. We have ways of communicating with you all. If something is happening, you're going to hear from us via text message, email, the app, a call out. We have actual real phones in the office that students can use. So there is really no need for them in the building. It's too tempting a tool for all things. It's like dropping your child off in Times Square unattended all the time.
Yeah.
That's okay. That was like, oh.
That's
That is a great analogy.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say the same thing. It opens up a lot. So most of the time when we're talking about bullying, cyberbullying, just drama, it's coming from cell phones. And 9 times out of 10, it's not happening while they're in school, because obviously we try to police that as much as possible. But another thing is, call the school if you need to get in touch with your child. I know that we try to reinforce, put the phone up, but they will literally call and say, hey, well, my mom is calling me right now, and you better answer the phone because I called you and I pay the bill, not the school. So just make sure that you're instilling in your scholars to follow the school policies. And it's a board policy, so read the code of conduct. We're not responsible for lost or damaged phones when they're not supposed to have them. It can be banned. So just make sure that you work with us. I understand a lot of parents have location put on the phones. They like to see for those scholars who ride the bus. It's a safety issue, but it's just a nightmare for us to police that at school. So like I said, if you have the choice of whether or not to get one if they haven't gotten it already, and it's not for safety precautions, I would say just stay away from it, at least until probably like 8th grade.
So I have a question, because I talk to a lot of my colleagues, north, south, all over, and one of the things that we've noticed throughout the district is that kids have chats with 50 to 100 kids in like 3rd grade. And I didn't know this was a thing until my 4th grader got in a chat with kids. She gave all the kids my cell phone number, and I started getting all these, and I'm like, what is going on? And it was a 3rd grade chat. And it was like 90% innocent, but they were like cursing. I was like, whoa, I had to block every number. And I talked to my colleagues north, and they say the same thing, like just the reach of the kids with the cell phones, it just brings problems that we've never seen. And one of the things that parents have come to me about is like safety, right? So like, let's say that God forbid something happens in a school, I want to get a hold of my child. What are some of the things that we have so that if I know if something happened? Because I get a lot of this from parents. Well, you know something happened, you guys are covering it up. I'm like, we got cameras everywhere, we can't really cover up anything. But I'm curious about what your thoughts are safety and people getting in contact with their children.
We also ask our students to put their cell phones away when they enter the building. We ask that they place their cell phones either in their lockers or their book bags upon arrival to school. If a parent needs to contact us, they can contact the front office, or they can contact one of our grade level administrators. We communicate with parents via Blackboard, via our apps, but there's always a way to contact the school if you really need to contact your scholar.
Also know that if there is something going on, parents will say, well, I didn't get a call out and something was going on and I would come up there. if there truly was a crisis, an emergency situation, the best thing you can do is wait for us to contact you. Because if, let's say, if it is a lockdown situation, if it is an emergency situation, we're locking it down. Nobody's coming in. That's the safest thing that we can do as administrators. And we will communicate as soon as it's safe, as soon as it's clear, and so that we don't have throngs of individuals coming up and creating an additional hazard when we're trying to manage a situation. So know that nobody's trying to hide anything. We want to get you information, accurate information, in a timely manner, rather than fostering anything that may be inappropriate or inaccurate.
This is just a shameless plug for Infinite Campus and making sure that our contact information is correct, because a lot of the times we are sending out communication via Blackboard, and especially for those who have older kids who are like in the 7th and 8th grade, we may have not updated it since elementary sometimes, and we're calling numbers, or we're calling people that are no longer in your lives anymore, so whatever it may be, but make sure that information is up to date so that you can get that communication in real time.
And I'll tell you, one time I blocked, my daughter goes to Stonewall Tail, one time I accidentally blocked Infinite Campus. And I had to call the principal and be like, can you please unblock, because I wasn't getting anything. So parents, sometimes kids have blocked it, sometimes you have blocked it. I had to call and manually get it unblocked, because I wasn't getting s'mores, anything, and that's when I knew something was up. So no shame, no, we're not gonna judge, just get it unblocked.
The other thing I would say is when we are in a lockdown situation, kids are getting directions and moving to safety from the people that are inside the building. So when you are calling them, you're putting them in a situation where they're trying to decide, do I listen to my parent or do I listen to my teacher who is guiding me to safety? So if you could not put your child in that situation, we are trying to get them to the safest place in the building. When we are in a lockdown situation, your phone call is an interruption. So as soon as we are able to communicate safely, we will do so. And a lot of times during the situations, we have parents that are calling the front office. In a real lockdown situation, no one's answering that phone. So you have to wait for us to give you the information, because we are trying to make sure that over 1,000 kids are safe.
I have one more question, then we're going to open it up and take a couple of questions from the audience. Let's say that a kid is on their phone at night, it's 8:00 at night, and they make a threat in a group chat, or they text someone with the threat. What happens the next day at school, and how can that cause a hard lockdown?
I think it depends on what the threat is. So if it's threatening our safety, the school's safety, then we could be on lockdown. We also do a full investigation. So right now, on all the devices that Fulton owns, we have, what's it called, LineWise. So if a threat comes through, administrators are immediately notified of that threat, and then our teams go into action. So we usually have the counselors involved, we have our officers involved that are looking into those situations. So depending on what the threat is, we're already starting the investigation at the time that it comes up.
And the last thing we want to do is create a situation without an investigation. So we're going to make sure that we establish validity, how severity. There are duplicate protocols, multiple protocols that the district has established that we go through to decide what we're going to do and how we're going to address it.
Yeah, just echoing the sentiments as far as the investigations go. I know that we're in a generation in a time where we want instant feedback and we want to know right then and there. But I promise you, it takes time to go through and make sure that we're not over sensationalizing things. Sometimes they are substantiated and sometimes they aren't, but it does take us time to go through the process to make sure that we're getting accurate information when it goes out. I know we have our own adult social media groups that we go to, and some parents put information out there, but just make sure that it's accurate, because we don't want to cause more chaos and pandemonium, because kids get the phones and my mom said this, my dad said that, and then it's just pandemonium throughout the school.
I'm gonna say the same thing. Just be patient with us. We always do a thorough investigation, and we will always keep you in the loop of the outcome.
Questions? So they're going to go around if you have a question for one of the principals.
How you doing? I was looking at the enrollments for a lot of the schools. Okay. Hold up. All right.
What is the? Never mind. Say, ask your question. Don't be shy. Ask your question. No. Ask your question. Ask your question. What is one of the protocols besides hiding in a lockdown drill?
Besides hiding in the lockdown.
All right, so you listen to the directions of your teacher. Most of the time, you're gonna get out of the sight of visibility. You are going to be quiet, all right? So that's gonna take some self-restraint. We're not playing, this is a serious matter at that point. I know it seems fun or exciting at the time, but you have to adhere to the commands of your teacher. So that's the main thing.
And also, no
What you say, Dr. Williams?
no movement. No movement during a hard lockdown. So oftentimes we'll have parents trying to get into the building during a hard lockdown. No movement. No movement for students, no movement inside the building or outside of it.
Enter the scary world of middle school.
Middle school is not scary, but I would suggest visiting the school. Visit the school during the school day, tour the school during the school day. You'll have an opportunity to meet some key personnel. And I think it would also help with the anxiety that our students have, but also our parents have as they transition.
For me, I would say partnership. Make sure that you're partnering with us. Understand that we are not the adversary. We're here. We advocate with you, alongside you. So just make sure that you build a good and forge a good relationship with the school, the staff, communication with the teachers. Just because they're in middle school, you can't assume that level of responsibility and transparency is going to be there. So check in with those teachers. And if they're not responding and they're not communicating with you, then go up the chain of command. But give people the benefit of the doubt to communicate with them first.
My one word is engage. Don't stop engaging in your students' affairs, and make sure you're engaging with the middle school. Excuse me. It doesn't stop just because they're leaving elementary school. That's when they need you the most. These are some of the most formative years. They're figuring out who they are, who they want to be, and in your absence, it could really go awry. So partner with the school, make sure that you're engaging with your student and engaging with all things your middle school, SGC, PTSA, volunteering, continue to be a parent.
So I would say middle school is not scary, but it's one of the hardest levels that kids will go through. And we see a lot of engagement at the elementary level and the high school level, but not as much as the middle school level. So I would echo what Principal Daniel McDaniel said, is to stay engaged, be involved, come up to the school. We are not the enemy. We are there to support you and your child because we know how they get, because we're with them 8 hours a day. So we know what the real them when they're in middle school. So stay engaged with them. Come up to the school and volunteer, check on their teachers, check on them, do pop-ups. I encourage my parents to do pop-ups and see what kids are doing. Come during transition time. That is the time that you see them at their real self, when we are walking through the hallways. Come during the cafeteria time. Be engaged with your kids during middle school. It just makes their transition so much easier when they see you in the building.
Can I say one other thing? Please know that what I have found to be most truthful is it's a harder transition for parents than it is for students. So parents, because the students get to come over and visit. We have students coming to visit Camp Creek actually in the morning. Our 3 feeder elementary schools will be visiting. They're going to get a tour. They're going to meet all things Camp Creek. We've already been to the elementary schools. I've already met them. And so by the time it comes to the parent transition night, the kids have it. So let them grow and expand and give them a little bit of freedom to find their way, and know that you will get through this time as well. It's harder for parents than it typically is for students.
The number one question I get asked in August is why, as a middle school parent, can I not walk the hallways with my kid? That is the number one question. There are parents who want to walk their kids to class in 6th grade. Principals, can they do that?
Absolutely not. You can come and visit during open house, and you can see their teachers during open house. But on the day 1 of middle school, they understand where they're supposed to go.
Sidewalk selfies.
Take them outside, but we will get them ready for whatever they need while we're in the building. And they really don't want you to walk them down the hallways, because then they got to, I'm sure. Then they got to deal with their friends talking about you being in the hallway with them. They don't want that. But they will be prepared to walk down the halls. Most of our schools have, I think all of us have summer bridge programs too, where we teach them how to unlock their lockers. We teach them their area, their pod that they're going to be on. So they know the building better than some of us do. They know all the nooks and crannies.
So parents can't sneak and walk their kids. I keep saying that.
First day on the sidewalk, give them a hug, give them a kiss, take your sidewalk selfie, and wave goodbye. We got it.
We got it.
Thank you, guys. Y'all clap for them. We're about to get into enrollments, but before we get into enrollments, you guys know that we're in session. We're in legislative session, right? How many of you guys have been watching what's happening on the news up in Washington? You been watching what's happening in Washington? So in Georgia, under the Gold Dome, we have legislators that represent us, right? So we have Representative Robert Dawson here tonight. He has 5 minutes. I would give you longer, but the principals all have a bet on if I'm gonna end by a certain time. And so he's gonna talk about some of the bills coming in under the Gold Dome. You guys remember we get some of our funding from the state. So I want you to say that. When parents come to me and say, I want my child in CTAE, my child is in dance, my child is in this, a lot of that funding is tied at the state level. So you need to know who your state representative is, and you need to know what is coming and what is trying to be passed. You got 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Good evening. Great to see you all. Wanted to thank you all for being out here. Also, know it's been a long day, so to see you here at the end of your day doing the hard work of civic engagement, I think we owe ourselves a round of applause. So let's give yourselves a round of applause. So I'm Robert Dawson, State House Representative, District 65. I actually have this school and all the schools in this cluster. I live right around the corner, actually in walking distance off Enon Road. You can follow me. My website is Robert for Georgia. Sign up for my newsletter. I have a community newsletter in case you aren't getting it. Just a few bills. Our session ends on April 4th. Some bills that we have ongoing that's germane for the school system. I know School Board Member Warren and President Dove, they've been great lobbyists. So I've been functioning in a role of watchdog, just safeguarding the best interests of our communities and the best interests of the school system. One issue, and I'll just do rapid fire and I'll get out of your way so we can continue with the program. On the issue of cell phones, we actually just the House passed a law. We send it over to the Senate, then it goes to the governor, that's going to ban all cell phones in schools from grades K through 8, right? So that was a very controversial one. Some teachers wanted it. Of course, all the students wanted it. But me, I'm old. We couldn't have Walkman in school, so I don't think these students should have iPhones in schools, and they can't vote for me right now, so I proudly supported that. No cell phones in schools, K through 8, that'll start next year. You guys okay with that, parents? Okay. I didn't have 100% of the vote, so I know, 50 plus one, I'll be okay. Another big issue is a bill that I sponsored. I tried. We failed with this one. We tried to change the ratio of counselors in schools from 250 per one student to 400 per student. We didn't get it through. We got a lot of traction. I'll be back with that one next year. School cameras, school zone cameras, that's another big one. It's still alive. There are two bills going on right now. One that would outright ban school cameras, school zone cameras. How do we feel about that? Okay. And then one, and I do understand, I was there. It's a serious issue. I was there the day at Sandtown Middle when Renaya was killed in that car accident. So the other one reforms and puts some guardrails on the program. The fees are less. There are rules that the camera operators have to follow to continue using the camera. So that's the other one. Two of those are going. As soon as we know which one passes, I'll share that information. Of course, school safety, that was the number one priority of the House Representative. I heard the student ask that issue about lockdown, so we have funded millions and millions of school safeties, from cameras to more officers to resource officers to an entire department of school safety that we'll now have. So we're taking that school safety issue very seriously, done a lot of work on that one. Charter schools is a big issue, and I'm going to be having a town hall myself here. What's up with charter schools? There's a big lobby here spending money on elections and politicians convincing us to go with charter schools. Me personally, I'm a product of the public schools, K through 12, so I'm a public school guy. Of course, I support our school board and our school system. So I'm going to be a no on that vote, but there were a lot of Democrats in the Senate who supported that measure. And then for parents and seniors, there's an issue that we've actually been working on. I think this will be my last issue. We've been working on this one down to the rope. I brought that bill for you too. Senior homestead exemption. There were 3 laws put forward to say, hey, when you reach a certain age, here, let me pull it up here.
And while he's looking for that, for senior exemptions, raise your hand if you know that Fulton County has an exemption. So you can go, you have homestead, but you can get an exemption. That takes your bill down, right? So seniors over a certain point, there is a movement that seniors don't pay any school taxes. Part of that is when we talk about our budget and revenue, it is good in that we want our seniors to stay in our houses, right? We don't want them priced out. We don't want them to be taken out of homes they own. But the flip side of that is that it could negatively impact our budget by $50 million. So we've been working to try to figure out to put some things in place. Up in Forsyth, they did 100% senior exemption. That meant that a senior could buy a house, they could have their whole family live there, they could have kids in the system, and they wouldn't pay anything. And Cobb is doing it too. So when you see a lot of school districts that they can't offer certain things, it's because of the exemption. So we're trying to find a middle ground on what does it look like for us to give seniors some relief. But to be honest with you, just like when you go to the store and buy eggs and there are more, for us to build the price of steel, we're building schools, it's almost 40% more. So when we talk about doing things in our system, when we talk about tightening up things and saving monies and making sure consolidating positions, it's because we see down the line what this could look like. Representative Dawson?
Yep, absolutely. And she's been great, and the school board has been great about coming to us. I took the advice, so there was one of the bills that we killed. It would have given parent or seniors 100% school board tax exemption at the age of 72. We scrapped that one. So 2 proposals are moving forward. One bill that'll give you a 25% break when you're 65, and one that'll give you a further 70% break once you turn 70. I'll leave those up there for you too.
Absolutely.
But it was just great to have my partners here in the school system, same in the city, the county, and other municipal entities working with me and keeping me savvy on everything that's going on. Again, I'm Robert Dawson, State House District 65. I'm your neighbor here. Call on me if you need anything. I pass a handout out, and I'll get some more out in the mail if you didn't get it.
We have a question. Hold on one second. They're going to get a mic to you. And Ms. Peaks, we're going to have you go up next if you want to go ahead and get your presentation.
One quick question. 450 to 250 is pretty aggressive in terms of ratio for councils. Are you going to revisit that and maybe do a 350?
Yeah, we'll try. You know, we were dreaming big, right? Go big or go home. And people did listen to it. We had a lot of support, but certainly whatever the magic number is, we're working on that and willing to compromise if need be. All right, thank y'all. Be in touch if you need me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I wanted to follow up with that question. So earlier this year, end of last year, we started doing our budget. And one of the tough decisions we had to make was in all of our school libraries, there are paraprofessionals that work with the librarians. We had to make some adjustments across all of our positions to fund more counselors. So right now we will be at 1 to 350 starting for high school, 1 to 350 for counselors. So it is serious. A lot of our counselors are having to do everything but counsel. And so what we're trying to do is try to close that gap. But again, as we're talking about a lot of our cutting spending, realigning, it's for us to make sure that we have more direct support in our schools. Student enrollments are next. You might have a sheet of paper. It looks like some grids on it. One of the questions that I get constantly is, when we're talking about a municipality is building something, our schools are full. It's not necessarily true. So I want you to look at on the sheet, there is going to, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to go to that. There is a sheet that looks like a grid, and it says enrollment. So we're gonna talk, what does that mean? For this conversation, we have Councilwoman, Catherine Rao, Dr. Catherine Rao, Councilwoman Carmelita Gums, and we also have Councilwoman Helen Willis. They are here because I did this in the fall in Union City when we met at Renaissance Elementary School. We had Mayor Vince Williams come. You guys can come up right here. And they talked about the development happening down on Hall Road. So right now, when we talk enrollments, I wanted them to come because this is going to lend itself into more conversations about building and et cetera. This will not be the long version of it. We can probably skip to the South Fulton version on it, but I wanted us to have conversations about what is being built, are schools actually full, and what that means.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tarika Peaks, and I'm the Executive Director of Operational Planning for Fulton County Schools. And it is my pleasure to be here this evening to talk to you about our 2025-26 enrollment projections. For the 2024-25 school year, our district enrolled 87,054 students. This number is 818 students fewer than last year. The most significant factor contributing to the decline in enrollment overall in the entire district is that our graduating classes, our 12th grade classes, are much larger in exiting the district compared to our incoming kindergarten classes. That's one particular factor that's affecting enrollment, but in this presentation, I'll provide different influences that impacts our enrollment. Enrollment in South Region, which is our learning zones 1, 2, and 3, reached 32,348 students, which is an increase of 4 students from last year's enrollment. Elementary enrollment remains unchanged. Middle school declined by 228 students, and high school increased by 232 students. Cohorts are grade level bands of students who transition from one grade to the next grade. For example, this year's 4th grader will be next year's 5th grader. This year's ninth grader will be next year's 10th grader. So it's just the transition of students from grade to grade. The South Region cohort increased by 184 students, which is a noticeable turnaround from last year's decline of 916 students. This shifts indicate a positive change in enrollment in the South Region. This table that's presented shows a 2-year trend of enrollment change by each region, including FAVE, which is Fulton Academy for Virtual Excellence. This year, first month enrollment, like I mentioned, decreased by 818 students, whereas last year it decreased by 1,851 students. This shows that while enrollment continues to increase, the rate of decline has slowed in comparison to last year. The most noticeable factor affecting the South region is a very strong residential development market and cohort growth at the elementary level. Last year, enrollment dropped by 918 students, but this year enrollment increased by 4 students. We also contribute cohort growth to new families moving into our school district. So to evaluate this impact, we review quarterly closings of new homes in each planning region. And our planning regions are South, Sandy Springs, and North. In reviewing our new home quarterly closings, the South Fulton region market remains the strongest, closing over 225 new homes in the fourth quarter of 2024. In reviewing other factors which could potentially impact enrollment, we consider if families are choosing other educational alternatives. January's private school report indicated over 12,000 Fulton County students attending private school. This data is self-reported and is inclusive of schools that responded. There are 1,727 private school enrollees in the South Fulton region, which is 10 students more than last year.
Ms. Peaks, can you talk about that map and what
Yes.
that is?
Did I go too? I think I went too far fast.
Before it. Oh, one before.
That was private school.
So on the map, if you go back one more. Okay, this map to the right is going to be new or planned development. Am I right? Ms. Huff?
Yes.
Ms. Peaks, I'm right. Okay, so this right here is where when you're talking about things being built, this is why when we went down to, down by Langston Hughes, what's the name of the street? Hall Road, I'm sorry. Growth is happening south. So in specifically south, Creekside, Langston, Westlake clusters. So when you look at that growth and you see all these planned developments, a lot of questions that we get is, well, how do you know it's happening? Or you see something approved at the city council level and you're wondering, does the school system know? What do we do, Ms. Peaks, for us to know what is happening with this?
What we do is we actually look at our residential developments within the region, and particularly South Fulton, as you just mentioned. We work with our planning departments in a lot of the cities within South Fulton, and we obtain residential development data, and we use that data to forecast our student enrollment for each year. That's one of the ways that we do that. And I was going to speak to this particular slide. The map that you see, that the darker the redder the shades, that shows where most of the residential development is taking place. And as you can see, we have over 15,000 new homes that are projected to be within the South Fulton region over the next 10 years. And that's based on information that we have obtained from the cities in South Fulton. And also the map onto the left, the green bars that you see, that shows the number of available houses that's for sale based on inventory. In the fourth quarter of 2024, there was 478 homes in the South Fulton area, and that's about a 6 months worth of housing inventory that's available in the South Fulton region. I'm gonna go back to one slide. One of the things that we also consider, we look at what other metro school districts, what their enrollment trends are like. And this year, Gwinnett, DeKalb, Clayton, Atlanta, and Cherokee experienced population growth, while other metro districts declined similar to Fulton. To prepare our forecast, we make a few assumptions. One, district-wide, we are anticipating a slow decline in enrollment. Housing challenges are expected to continue throughout the Fulton County region due to rising home prices as well as higher interest rates, particularly for South Fulton, and the enrollment is expected to grow at a constant pace. There is consistent growth of new residential housing, which is a true catalyst for new population growth within the district. This table presented shows projected enrollment change for each region over the next 5 years. For the 2025-26 school year, we anticipate a continued decline in student population by 1,023 students to reach a district total of 86,031 students. As we look to the future, we anticipate a continued downward trend of enrollment with 3,334 fewer students over the next 5 years. I would just add, in South Fulton, like Ms. Warren said, residential development is very strong in the South Fulton region. So the South Fulton region, we expected to see slow but steady growth within this particular region. And in closing, over the next 5 years, as I just said, we will experience robust housing market in South Fulton. In 5 years, the South Fulton region is expected to grow by 156 students. And that concludes my presentation.
Ms. Huff, can you talk? Clap, yes, yes. I wanted to show the example of when I remember when Hall Road before Langston Hughes was on that road, and it was just farmland. So Ms. Huff, can you talk a little bit from that perspective, many, many years ago, what we saw and why we started building down there, and then what we see now?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. So when we plan for new schools, as Ms. Peaks and Ms. Warren both indicated, we are tracking residential development. So prior to the formation of the city of South Fulton, Fulton County was approving rezoning cases for this area. And our department would provide, as they were contemplating those developments, they send that plat information or that development information to our office. So before they even approve it, we're already entering that into our data to track the type of development, if it's multifamily, single family, condos, townhomes, how many units are in each development, we're tracking that. And then we project out when that development would occur. When we built Langston Hughes, Renaissance Elementary, and Renaissance Middle, we saw that development that is now occurring when it was approved in Fulton County. As Ms. Peaks mentioned, she showed you a map with active and planned residential development. That's not all that's on the books. So while we're projecting 15,000 units to come online, we're tracking, I think it's more like 45,000 units that are in the pipeline that could develop. So depending on multiple factors, that number could grow or it could shrink. We saw areas that did not develop. We saw, we called them pipe communities where you see the roads cut and the pipes up, but development stopped. So different things impact the market, like housing, residential mortgage rates, the economy. If there's a recession, people are more conservative in their spending. But still, we had that information on our books. So when we build schools, and particularly those schools where there was no development, we anticipated the growth that was going to come. There's other development in South Fulton that are large scale developments down in the Chattahoochee Hills area, still in the city of South Fulton. We are tracking that development and we project it out based on how many homes the market can absorb. So a builder could have 1,000 units in a subdivision. We know all 1,000 can't be built and purchased based on how many homes typically sell in a quarter. So we're tracking that data. We try to stay ahead of it by building in advance. We've gotten a little bit ahead of ourselves in elementary. That's why you saw some most recent elementary closures that I'm sure you didn't miss in the news, because some of that elementary enrollment is shrinking. But what I will say is good about South Fulton is that even though we've grown in price, we do have some affordable options for families. The reason South, you see the district is shrinking, it's not because South Fulton is not growing. It's because North Fulton and Sandy Springs are growing in their grade bands, but because their home prices are so extreme, we're not seeing elementary students. We are seeing elementary students in South Fulton, and those students matriculate up to middle and high school. The North Fulton region is not experiencing that. They're only seeing growth in the middle and high schools, particularly at larger numbers because of their price points.
Questions?
Are there any questions?
Dad, you got a question? Hold on, get a mic. You had a question before you? Okay.
Yeah, I had a question that was covered in you all's presentation and speech. We went to high school together. When you start to think about what takes place in the community, you start to see things being developed, and I think this is the most important part is that we come together to be able to discuss these things. But also for us to be able to hear from you all, because it's important as parents that we know what our role is and what the growth plans are for the community. So we want to thank you all for coming before us and having this communication with us, but also for giving us some marching steps and some things to settle us. I took my daughter's cell phone, but she smiled because she's in the 8th grade, so she'll have it back. But these are things that are very important to us. I grew up in Atlanta public schools. I'm a product of Atlanta public schools over Missouri State, and so I've been in a Zone 1 school that did close Archer High School and facing those things. Community growth is something I knew would take place when Harry Homes closed 20 years ago, and now it's been revitalized. So when you start to hear these plans and things happening when the community's growing, there's a future plan for continued growth. That's important because we bought these high-priced houses in these communities, and we want to make sure that our children have a future investment, and that we bought in the right place. We just wanted to say thank you all. You all answered my question, and I really appreciate it.
So I'll say this, and thank you for that. Your community is only as strong as your school. I'm gonna say that again. Your community is only as strong as your school. I can't tell you how many Sandy Springs, how many Park Lane parents that I spoke to who were envious that we have so much growth down here. And one of the things that they always say is, you guys are growing. How are you growing? So I have conversations with all of our elected officials about what's coming. We talk about it. I see the comments on Nextdoor. I try to stay off Nextdoor because y'all know how it gets on Nextdoor. But I see it and I'm like, if you look at that sheet, can somebody hold up that sheet? It's right here. Yes, sir, coach. Hold it up so everybody can see it, coach. It tells you by year what our numbers are supposed to be. And those numbers, Ms. Huff, Ms. Peaks, it's like a 1% error. Yeah, it's like 1% error. So the number that we say, we're tracking that well that we know. And if we see an anomaly, that signals for us to do something. So when we were at the board table, my now new concern is Creekside High School and Langston Hughes High School, because they're projected by 2029, 2030 to be way over. Renaissance Elementary might have close to 900 kids. Bear Creek, I'm concerned about because of all the development. So when we're talking about this and having these conversations, I want people to know that we are tracking it, and we don't determine development. The school system does not. We react to it. So when people say you need to tell them to stop building, no, we don't. No, you don't. You don't want people to not build because you don't want your schools to be under and threatened to be closed. If you go up to Sandy Springs, up and down Roswell Road, it's nothing but apartments. That's what's keeping those schools open. Other questions? This was a lot. Y'all don't have any more questions? Because y'all cousins be on Nextdoor like talking about the schools. We don't have any questions? Okay, somebody has one right back here. Yay. Okay, mom has a question. She did an excellent job. Stand up, mom, stand up. Come on, y'all clap for her. Why do y'all get so shocked? We're a family, stand up. Tell us what school your child goes to. Okay. Okay, yay. Okay, development.
especially like that middle school for like global and Creekside. So.
Okay, our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Gaskins. He's a Westlake grad too. Y'all clap for Dr. Gaskins. So you asked about why HOSA isn't at the middle schools, and I'm gonna try it a little bit. So at Renaissance Middle School, it is. They have a HOSA class, a healthcare class, correct? Principal Williams, where are you at, Principal Williams? HOSA. You said HOSA, correct? Yes. So, and at Sandtown, I know we have TSA. Can you talk about the reasoning why all, like the TSA, the HOSA, the FBLA, the DECA, may not be at every middle school, every elementary school?
So, great question. Thank you for the question. It is based on student interest and the leadership at the school. So, if you would like to have that program at the school, contact the school's principal. They will make sure that there is a teacher that is interested, because it is an extra responsibility for that teacher. We do provide compensation for that teacher. So we just want to make sure that we have the compensation for the teacher, there's interest from the student, but the first place to always start is with the school's principal.
And Bear Creek has ag. They have ag, Oakley, Bear Creek, Creekside. And so that's something that other people don't have. And what's the student organization for ag? What is it? FFA. I knew that, I'm sorry. So other people don't have, but that's a good question. Any other question about development? I don't have any. Okay, they want to share.
Well, first of all, I want to say it looks good to see so many people here at this meeting. Every time I come to these meetings, you all fill the room. I would love to see our council meetings the same way. Again, the city is growing tremendously, and we have a lot of great things that are happening in the city of South Fulton, great developments. I can share about our Westwood project that is coming on the Chattahoochee River. Right next to the Douglasville border, but again, it's in our city. And that is a wonderful development that will have mixed use and, stores, restaurants. There are a lot of different things that are happening in our city. So it's just as much as you all are engaged here, we would love to have you engage in our council meetings and not beat us up on next door about what you all don't want to see, the traffic and everything else. So again, I just ask you to continue to be engaged. We didn't have a long presentation or anything like that because this young lady did everything for us today. So again, if you have questions, please make sure you reach out and talk to your council, and we want to hear what you have to say.
Good evening. I'm Councilwoman Dr. Catherine Foster Rowell. I'm so excited as well to see the crowd. And I want to also encourage you to take part in our comprehensive development plan process. We have a QR code over here on this board. It will actually dictate what we'll do in terms of planning for our city over the next 5 years. Just as the school district engages in planning to talk about the type of development we want to see, we do it also at the city level. And so we have, like she said, a number of mixed-use developments coming to the area. One I'll just highlight is Hush Development. It's catty corner to the Publix. It's 61 acres at Camp Creek and Camelton Road. It will be mixed-use development, about 100,000 square feet of retail. It'll have housing and restaurants and all the other amenities that you're asking for. And as one person mentioned, when we talk about traffic, developers go where there's traffic. If there's no traffic, they don't want to go. So if you ask why is all this happening at Camp Creek and Camelton Road? It sits at two state roads, which is Camelton Road and Camp Creek. The traffic counts and all those are some of the criteria that businesses look to when they're deciding to come into an area. Of course, a business wants to be on a busy road because they want you to stop in and spend money. So again, when we talk about density, a lot of people are concerned about density. We can't get you the retail options if we don't have density. So I just wanted to share that with you. Take advantage, use the QR code. I have some literature, not as many as people in this room, but we are all on social media and you can get additional information on the city's website.
Thank you. I'm Councilmember Willis with the City of South Fulton District 3. I just got a question from a parent wanting to know how businesses can partner with the city. One of the ways that you all can partner with the city is hire our youth for the summer. Commissioner Arrington and I have an annual youth job fair, and we are looking for employers who are willing to hire youth between the age of 16 to 18. We're always looking for partners. Just reach out to one of us and we'll show you how to get set up as vendors. But we're really looking for employers to hire our youth for the summer. Also, I would like to say simultaneously, as we're working on our comprehensive development plan, we are working on a impact fee strategy so that we can also get developers to help invest in some of the infrastructure needs in the city. Why is everyone coming to South Fulton? We have the most undeveloped land, and everyone is landlocked. I want to thank School Board Representative Franchesca Warren for her collaboration and her wealth of knowledge that she shares with not only residents but with us. We're all in this together. We have 3 taxes that are on our bill, and that is county, city, and schools. And the schools get 75% of every dollar that we spend, and that's well deserved. Schools and crime is a direct correlation to our economic development. People want to live where they have good schools, and people want to live where they are safe. And so I do agree, we do not need to exempt seniors from our school taxes because they want to remain safe and they want nice things, they desire nice things in their community, and we can't get those things if we do not have the means to pay for them. Thanks again for having us. Remember to participate in our comprehensive development plan survey because that will tell us what you want to see in this community and help mold our development in the future. One thing for District 3, I will tell you, we will have a new financial institution coming in the Langston Hughes area, Fifth Third Bank. We'll have a community meeting. Check out my newsletter because they will come and give you the information about the banking, the bank they're bringing to the city of South Fulton and how they're willing to partner with the community. Thank you.
Councilwoman, talk about the pool really quick and then I'll talk about Cliftondale.
Y'all, the pool is back open.
Woo, thank God.
We paid, taxpayers paid over $6 million to totally renovate that pool. It is back open. Go to the Park and Recreation website to get the hours. We're also bringing more pools online. We approved a $17 million concept plan for Cedar Grove, who also will have a pool. Yeah. And then our next pool is to try to get one on the Old National Quarter, and it's projected to be Burdett. So our goal is to have pools throughout this entire city because I was born and raised in Savannah, Georgia, but I was recruited here by my husband. And when I hear about kids drowning, when they go visit Florida, when they go visit the low country areas, it's never really the locals. Yeah. It's our inner city kids that's coming from the metro Atlanta area. Mm-hmm. So I am advocating for us to put more pools throughout the city of South Fulton. We should not only have one pool in the city. We should have pools throughout the city. And I'm also advocating that our kids learn how to swim.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of great programs, swim programs as well. Lastly, because I know y'all are ready to go.
We got to recognize students. So they're
okay. That's why y'all still here. Okay. All right. I'm coming. Okay. So Cliftondale Park. How many of you are familiar with Cliftondale? You all should be. So we are going through a renovation for Cliftondale Park. As you can see, we have the soft walking track and all that other good stuff, but we are also going through the same process that we did for Cedar Grove, and that we will be having our first meeting on April the 29th, where you all can come in and have you say whatever you want to see. We do have a pool slated for that Cliftondale area and a few splash pads. So the Cliftondale Park right now, K9 Haven is open, as well as you can walk around the track and you have exercise equipment. So we will be having a ribbon cutting for that soon. If you all live in District 2 or District 3, or District 1, we will be having a town hall tomorrow at Wolf Creek Library at 6 o'clock. So you can get more updates as well. Again, I'm Councilwoman Gumbs. I hope you all have a great evening.
You guys clap for them. We're about to honor the kids. We know. They're ready to go. Can y'all give me 5 minutes to talk money? Can we talk money for 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Mr. DeReef, come on. I told him listen, can we do 2.5? All right, Mr. DeReef. So I'm gonna be serious. Mr. DeReef oversees the entire district's budget. He is so I'm not taking away from any of the other chiefs, but he will get deep into the numbers. So I told him 2 minutes overview, and then we're gonna honor you guys. You ready? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Starting now. Oh, wait a minute. Who got the clicker?
Oh, sorry.
All right. Don't start yet.
Okay.
All right. Now start. All right. I'm here because we're in the midst of the budget development season. And part of that process is to project the preliminary revenue forecast. It is a rough estimate. It allows us to start planning and think about what we need for its FY26. I'm going to quickly go to the highlights. If you want to see the full presentation, it's on the March 11th board meeting where I presented this presentation, if there's any interest. So I'm not going. All right. One key thing to recognize is that 65% of our general fund budget is local revenue, meaning most of what funds our operations is property taxes. And then 32% is state revenue. And then a financial forecast is always assumptions to make, as you see listed here. But let's get to the heart of the matter. This is what our preliminary forecast for its revenue look like for comparing FY26, meaning next year, to this year. The key elements to this, we're anticipating 21 million in new revenue for its tax revenue, and that's based on our 17.08 millage rate, which is the lowest millage rate in the metro area. So this board does a great job of trying to keep the property tax burden as minimal as possible. You can see here, the other highlight is the fact that our state revenue is declining. And that is due to the enrollment and other factors such as local fair share, which I do not have time today to go into. But you can see overall 1.2% increase in revenue, 15.8 million. The problem is the expenditures that we face for is increasing is going to be significantly higher. So we have to balance that issue. Now, diving into the state revenue quickly, this is where our challenge is a lot of times is in our state revenue, being that we are declining. And I want to highlight a few things very quickly. I got 30 seconds left? Yep. All right. One of our challenges, the major components of the QBE, which is our state funding, has to do with student FTE count, which is declining. Local fair share. The state says we have an obligation locally to help fund the education that is not fully state funded, and they do that by reducing our earnings by the local fair share.
How much did we pay last year in local fair share?
Last year, i.e., let's just say this year, $237 million was deducted from what we've earned for state funding.
And where does it go?
And basically it goes to support other districts.
Rural districts.
Now, next year is going up even more to 258 million, which is a $21 million impact. So just imagine that. As you saw in the previous slide, we were expecting our tax revenue to go up 21 million, but we're losing 21 million on the state side. And that local fair share is determined by our tax base. So in essence, we're not gaining anything from the increase in property taxes on you. It's going back to the state on the state side. That is our ongoing challenge, that our local fair share is exceeding what we're gaining from our local revenue. And that's going to be a problem if that continues, because they have no cap on the local fair share. So even as our enrollment goes down, the deduction is going up, even as our earnings from the state is going down. On top of that, TRS rate is going up and health insurance is going up. On the state side, that looks good for its revenue, but just know it is exceeding our expenditures for those two items is exceeding what we're getting in revenue for those two things. So that is our challenge in a nutshell. We will navigate this. The board know we don't just look at 1 year, but we look at the long term and where we stand. And we're going to have to make some tough decisions and make some adjustments. And I think we're up for the task. We're having great discussions. This board has been incredible with juggling, minimizing the tax burden versus meeting the needs of the students each year. And we're just going to have to navigate through this. But my 2 minutes is up. Thank you.
For those of you who want to talk money, Mr. DeReef will be here. So if you have a question, he can answer it. So right now we're going to honor kids. I don't know who we started with. Here's the deal. When we call your name and we call the school, come up, parents, come up here, embarrass them, get your photo, and we're going to go from there. We ready? We ready? We're going to start with, I want everybody to look right here. This is Stonewall Tail Elementary School. Miss Miller, where are you at? Come on, stand up, Miss Miller. So come on up, Miss Miller. We want to recognize all of our babies at Stonewall Tail Elementary School who entered an art show 2 weeks ago, and they were honored. Here is some of their work because the arts are so important. Miss Miller, and she's a twin. Y'all know her sister works at Sandtown. I didn't know that at first. I was like, do you have 2 jobs? So tell everybody what was the art competition?
Okay, so what it was for a couple weeks, I picked on some students who really have shown me throughout the class that they have not only talent, but a vision for their work at such a young age. And so I had students from kindergarten through 5th grade, and even some former Stonewall Tail students who were in the show. They're representing us in Candler Park. The church that's associated with the space actually invited them. They usually show artists that are adults. They don't show children's work, but just a testament to the kind of talent that they saw last year, giving us an opportunity to show in that space. They invited us back again. We partnered with Sandtown Middle School. Thank you, Ms. Freeman, for allowing my sister to bring the orchestra over. I know it's confusing to the students, but I love it. We just work very hard to advocate for the arts. It's all about the kids, really. I like to be in the background most of the time when I'm teaching. But again, Stonewall Tail has such a strong population. I know everybody loves their school individually, but I can brag and say, as an artist myself, that Stonewall Tail has some very unique talent. I'm able to see it, and I like to pull it out of the students. So that's my job, amongst other things that we have to do as art educators. As an artist, I see the artist in the student, and I like to pull it out. So the people at Candler Park said, come on back this year and give us another show. And this is just a representation of it. It's not all of the students' work. Some of them represented us in the Capitol recently, so they don't have work up. Some are on a field trip right now. But for those who are here, I'm so proud of them, and I will do my best to keep encouraging them to develop their talent and their vision. And I encourage the parents, all parents in here, if you see a child with the vision with creative ability, please nurture that. It starts at home, and when it gets to the teacher, someone like me and my sister can take it and run with it. Okay, so that's it.
Kids up.
Okay, I'm gonna call up, I have my babies here with me today. I think I see Dominic Garcia, why don't you come on up? Okay, I see, all right, he's my youngest, kindergarten. Okay, Kaiser here, all of them. If you are a student at Stonewall Tail, please come on up. If you're here tonight, Kaiser, come on up. Hannah, if you're still here, come on up. Santana and Sasha, come on up. Thank you for representing us tonight. I know it's been a long day.
Yeah, we had you here long. At least we fed y'all. A little bit.
Exactly.
Ran out. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Come on. Okay. I will get in the picture. Hold on, hold on. Good job, Ms. Miller. Good job. Congrats, guys.
All right, right now we're going to acknowledge the students at Cliftondale Elementary for the Science Olympiad competition. Brooke McMillan, London Dames, Maribel Nikawo, Aiden Simmons, Haley Hurd, Sheldon Samuels, it should be in there already. I ain't saying. Ashley Alexander, Ryan Kendall, Keith Little, Kendrick Lucius, Mason Butler, Micaiah Jones,
Did we get everybody? You got everybody?
No, just one right there. Yeah. Go by it. That's it. Here, take that. This is it. Yep. Watch stuff. Watch stuff.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
You got shelf on you?
Huh?
I put it in shelf on you. I'll put it on.
And now we're going to represent Cliftondale Beta Club competition. Mackenzie West, Jade Warren, Nia Bradley, Jeremiah Stokes, Ashley Alexander, Tasiah Dudley, Chelsea Hightower, Callie Adams, Sheldon Samuels, and Alyssa Wilkins.
Anybody else?
You got anybody else?
Did you have Chelsea on time already?
Yes, right here.
That was it? Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. You in the picture now, girl.
Yes, you're in the picture.
You want me to take a picture with your phone? You don't trust me, think I'm gonna stay with your phone? I'm just playing, man. I'm playing.
All right, Liberty Point Science Olympiad competition. Ava Myers, Riley Brown, Amina Small, Talia Davenport, Arya Mack, Cristobal Chekazi. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. Charles Aretos, Aiden Worthy, Preston Bennett, Paisley Smith, Demario Jenkins, Winter Simmons, And we still have the Beta Club. We're gonna call Beta Club next. Yeah, he gonna. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next group will be Liberty Point Beta Club competition. Carson Bass, Paisley Smith, Arise Turner, Jordan Sifford, Helly Hackabach, Malia Washington, and Ariana Davis.
Okay, we got 3. So put that on the back.
See, that's why you making the big bucks.
Okay.
What you got? Oh, you got
Congratulations.
I got it.
All right. We got creek size.
No, elements.
Oh, okay. Element.
Seymour and Lee, Olympiad competition. Aaliyah Frett, Kenley Davis, Dylan Smith, Eli Lester, Noah Hillsman, Christine Lowe, Phoenix Smith, Kayla Perkins, Bella Hollingsworth, Aiden Fitzgerald, Avery Fitzgerald, Elise Lester, Karzma Owini, Robert Harmon, Josiah Melancu. I apologize if I mispronounced that. That's all for Seymour and Lee.
Somebody else.
Oh, you can dance, huh?
Right. There you go, Robert. Congratulations.
Go that. Yep.
It's all good. I appreciate it.
Here you go. Yep.
Let it get it.
Got one more pen right here. Thank you.
All right, next we have Randolph Elementary, Jada Bennett, Justice Bennett, Prince Gates, Kason George, Chasten Pierre Augusta, Lloyd Richardson, Zoe Richardson,
You don't have to eat our lesson.
Huh?
I gave it to her. That's all I had. Somebody else might. She said she was brother Eli Lester, but won't have it.
One, two, three. Congratulations, guys. Okay. Renaissance Elementary.
I'm not a fan. Miss Eli Lester.
What?
She said her other name was for him.
All right, next up is Renaissance Elementary School. Dallas Ray Williams, Caden Johnson, Cameron Browning, Eddie Young Aka, okay? Scott Sonny, Aaliyah McNeil, Joshua Shepard, Joshua Sonny, Dalen Moore, Eli Lomack, Elijah Sizemore, Shavion Sampler, Brazil Wood, Kaylee Bankston, Did we? If we missed a name, please come on up for Renaissance. If we missed a name, please come on up for Renaissance. That was nice. Thank you. There you go.
Now we have our Science Olympiad for Oakley Elementary School. Talia Crowder, Quavion Doss, Brielle Gamble, Elizabeth Gatlin, Hazel Gatlin, Daniela Harris, Kirsten Henry, Micaiah Dawson, Mackenzie Dawson, and Jacoby Corbin. Give it up for Oakley Elementary School Science Olympiad. Next we have Sandtown Middle School Beta Club.
Hold it on.
Cannon Harper, Robert Powell, Whiten Trice, Janae Farrell, Amari Edie, Zariah Dudley, Freeman Solomon, Eldon Lee, Israel Young, Mason Washington, Campaign Skits, India Brown, and Maximus Mayweather.
High school. Oh yeah. Here. Yeah, they here. The dance team. Start with Tri-City School. Start with Tri-City School. Who you doing? You got all of them?
All right, now we're at the high schools. And we're going to start with Creekside High School. Girls basketball 4A, Georgia High School Athletic Association state champions. Hey, y'all. Hey, coach, I'm going to give you the awards. Give them, they just take the picture. All right, thank you.
We got the awards.
We got the awards right there. She going to give it to y'all. Oh, undefeated.
Here you go. 32 or 33? Not just undefeated, 32 and 0.
Get it right.
32 came up, 32 went down.
Ooh, that's scary. And do Westlake?
We still got a time. Go ahead.
I'm just going to call hip hop dance team.
Okay, hold on 1 second. We still. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna get. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna call her up. Baby, don't call her. Oh, we got you.
Hey,
So we got
go
her.
get the Oakley ones to make sure she was.
Y'all, we still have more kids to honor. Give us 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Go see
We can get everybody to sit
That's Oakley
down.
right there. That's Oakley right there. Right there. What's her name?
What's her name?
What's your name?
Kendall Webb. Kendall Webb.
Kendall Well, we're going to double check to make sure.
We're going to, everybody give a rousing applause to Oakley Elementary School, Kendall Wells. She's a science Olympian.
Webb.
We're gonna call her name, so you guys clap this baby.
Oh, Mom, get in. All right, we're going. Can we have the Westlake hip hop dance finalists come up, please?
Say it again.
Westlake hip hop dance finalists, please come up.
Because they're being slow.
Westlake hip hop dance finalist team, can y'all come up? Here they go. There's a bunch of y'all, so we're gonna try to cut time.
Call their names.
You wanna call?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, come on.
All right, here we go.
Come on, we're gonna call their names.
You can call names and things
Okay, come. Student.
Kyla Huff, Gracie Roser, Savannah Rouse, Mackenzie Smith, Dallas Mobley, Angelina Brown, Cameron Carter, Naomi White, Sydney Rice, is that Lo Jackson? Zoe Jackson? JD Canty? Jada Carty. And Amelia Carty? Oh, the Kaylee Thompson, Millen Robinson, Mania Camel, Kennedy Fannin, Mackenzie York, Reginae Simon, Kaylin Davis, Dallas Johnson, Sky Johnson, Talia Jones, London Green Bumpers, Channing Jones, Micaiah Jones. That's it.
All right, squeeze in. Come on, squeeze in.
It's on the back of it. It's on the back of it.
I know it's a sponsor.
Huh?
I'm putting it in the back so I can peel that stuff off.
Oh, just give it to give it to Miss. Give it to CC. Hickman. Come on, everybody. Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
This is the Creekside
Okay.
Hip Hop Dance Finals.
All right, so next we have.
It's on.
Okay, go ahead.
Next, we will have Creekside High School Hip Hop Dance finalists.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if they're here, but we're going to call them anyway.
Call their names.
Kiara Westmoreland, Jalen Ball, Amanda Davis, Camilla Funderburk, Lamaya Taylor, Cassidy Holloway. I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. I think it's Lahir, Harmony Williams, Nareja Carter Robinson, Samaya Majid, Amari Snowden, Karen Green. Give it up for Creekside Hip Hop Dance finalists.
I might as well do this one.
All right, now we have Westlake High School DECA winners at the State Leadership Conference. State winners: Anaya Frederick, Lloyd Perryman, Michelle Namani, Taylor Watson, Kayla Brooks, Taylor Hall, Layla Turner, Zara Kemp, Nolan Huntley,
And Max.
Kyle Guilford, Elena Wellmaker, Bryce Love. Congratulations to our Westlake DECA State Leadership Conference winners.
Oh,
Yeah.
Max. She gonna take the extras.
Yeah, the kids, they get Bryce. They have.
Where's Bryce?
He's coming right now.
Oh, that's Bryce here.
They have
He towards the back.
all of them at soccer tournaments.
It's all good.
I'm gonna give you guys your hand. Congratulations.
Hey, put this on the back.
Here you go.
Here you go. Oh, I don't know which. Yeah, skills USA and then Junior.
The next we will have Westlake High School Skills USA winners at the State Leadership Conference. Ava Stacker, Jace Williams, Kai Adams, Kendall Abakar, I apologize, Khalees West, Jade McMillan, Kobe Daniel. Congratulations again to our Skills USA winners for the State Leadership Conference, Westlake High School. And our final category for Westlake High School after this will be coming up, and then we get a couple more. Be patient, we almost there, y'all.
Westlake High School.
Good. All right, Westlake High School, Georgia High School Literary Competition. Jayla Davis, Andrea Faison, Chloe Ramos, Lalani Smith, Lauren Merton, and last but not least, Malachi Johnson. Zion Wilcher. Yeah.
Some of y'all come on this side. Okay.
Try to see this here? I don't got it. It's not got it. Yeah, try to see this here. Okay, let's say it like that. That's what I hope this for you. Where they go?
Everybody say literary.
Literary!
Trinity Gooseby. Trinity Gooseby. This was Trinity Gooseby.
Not in there.
Is she here?
Yes.
Where's she at? Trinity Gooseby.
Oh, yes, my girl. Miss Trinity Gooseby.
She was the starring sister act.
Yeah, I
Yep,
know.
come on.
That's my
We're gonna
girl.
do another picture. Come on.
Come on, pick. Wesley, come back up. Trinity, I'm gonna make sure they get you a I don't know why they did.
Here, just give her this one.
Yeah, that's fine. No, give her the one of us.
No, I'm saying just.
Yeah, put it there. Oh, yeah.
Hold on, get back in. Right here. Hold on. Hold on. Let's call this again. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Come on. Everybody say the Hey! The house?
That's probably something.
All right. Got it. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
I know. Trinity, we love you. Look, you know I love you. Let me make sure we get your stuff. Give me love.
Let's go to the next one.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
She was in.
Yeah, she was our leading sister.
Yeah, she did amazing.
She gonna get that Shula.
Thank you.
That's our dance.
Trust
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, trust it. Go ahead.
Tri-Cities High School Hip Hop Dance Finalists. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Good. Okay.
Miss Ayana Cooper, Brianna Clark, Aaliyah Young, Lanaya Middlebrooks, Taisha Smith, Maya Griffin Watson, Cassidy Freeman, Sophia Gonzalez, Raleigh Sheets, Harmony Holmes, and last but not least, Brianna Asalam. You got your award too, so you get one. You get up there.
She's gonna, yeah, her name's Brianna Clark.
Get
Let me
there,
get her
Brianna.
award. She get her paper yet. Brianna Clark.
Go right there.
Let's get low. We got three more.
I'm gonna take all. Come on, let me get your picture. You need your
picture
thing.
too.
I'm gonna get my picture.
Okay.
Get there, Quinn.
I remember when you were in high school. Your mom was
I
like,
know. It's crazy, right?
Regina, like, yes, ma'am. Sorry to hear about your grandmother.
All right. We have Global Impact FBLA Regional Leadership Conference. Ashay Anderson, Annalise McGee, Nasir Hines, Brandon Lyons, Mia Pina Mendoza, Kaylee Stevens, Annalise McGee, Tamia Adams, Kennedy Cook, Addison Davis, Jada Ferguson, Shania Anderson,
Facial.
Sasha Servine Hillary, Sasha Hillary,
Okay, I got you. Come on. There's another one in there.
Kayla Gibson,
Destiny Tang.
Destiny Tang Tang, Ashley Nye, Nee, Samantha Nee,
I didn't get my whatchamacallit yet.
Tamia Adams.
No, he already called me.
called you.
But
Yes, the Tang Tang. All right.
and then we have Global Impact Young Georgia Authors Writing Competition.
This is one with everybody.
London Brown, Emily Wynn,
London Brown, Emily Wynn, come right by you. Right there.
and then we have Global Impact Poster Competition.
She wanted them all.
Oh, you want it all at
You want
once?
all? Do you want them all as one? Oh, okay.
No, we got one more. We got one more.
You got one for this group right here. Yeah. Jonathan want to be a rattler too, with his green.
That's hilarious.
Jonathan, you got an orange shirt on? Jonathan, you got an orange shirt on?
Huh?
You got an orange shirt on? Yeah, you want to be a rattler.
I do not.
Hillary Wynn,
Tell them what it's for.
Global Poster Competition. Zaria Plummer, Ryan Williams, Ashley Nee,
On the mic.
Name?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, state representative.
State Region 4 representative.
And we had
and we have Aaron Jones, the State 4 representative.
Always
yes. I'm so sorry, Aaron. Hey, email me.
You said it, right?
I said it.
Okay.
Email me, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
All right. We'll send it to you. We'll send it through Mr. Hall. He'll email me today. We'll send it to you. Hey, we didn't say you. That's we got it. No,
See, I know. All right, so we are we done? Yes. Okay, so let me stop, Mr. Come here. So, hold on, give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Thank you to everybody who came. I told them we were gonna get out at 7:30. It is 7:32, so I've kept my promise. But Mr. Maxwell wanted to give an update for those Westlake High School parents.
All right, good evening, Westlake High School parents. As we know, Mr. Adams has moved on to another chapter, and I just want to thank him publicly for his leadership. At this current time,
Mr. Menace is the interim. In the next week or so, there will be information coming out, sharing that information and getting a survey to get your input on what you would like to see in the next principal of Westlake High School. So that'll be our first phase. So look for that letter coming out. It is going to be key. Parents, please fill out the survey, and staff. And that will help us to determine to try to select the right person to bring to the table for you guys, okay? All right, thank you. Have a great evening. Ms. Warren, do you want to close out?
Thank you. You guys don't have to leave, but it's over. If you have an issue, I am here. If you have any questions, Mr. Maxwell, Dr. Stamper, have a good night, guys. Thank you.